And here we are.
Hey guys, Randall here from PRN, normally from BragginRights Precision. We've got Jim Miller here from Reloading Journey for PRN as well as my partner. And we have a great guest for you today, which is Dan Clausen from Inline Fabrication. He is the household name for anything to do with your mounts and accessories for your reloading accessories. So today we got a great program for you. We're going to do some giveaways. Dan's going to talk about some of his new products as well as his current products. And we're going to give you a heck of a good show.
All right.
What you got to say, Jim?
Say, if you're ready, I don't have anything to say. If you're ready, we'll go ahead and bring Dan in.
Let's get the man of the hour.
Welcome, Dan.
There he is.
How you doing?
Good.
Excellent.
All right. Well, Dan, you are the man of the hour. Tell us how you got started in the business.
Well, back in the day, I worked for quite a long time building high-end RVs. Enjoyed the heck out of it. Did a lot of the custom stuff. Made the TVs come out of the floor and all the goofy different things that the uber wealthy can dream up but can't do. So that was the majority of my job, is just kind of all the fun custom stuff, which, like I said, I enjoyed the heck out of it. But the economy crashed 08, 09, and everything with the high end, over $1.5 to $2 million RV, that world kind of stopped turning. So
right.
Well,
I used to work for a Ford dealership out in Florida, and we worked on anything that Ford had a platform for, including RVs. And I'm the opposite. I can't say I miss it.
Well, there's a rewarding factor, of course, for creating something that didn't exist, the morning that you went into work. So, doing maintenance on vehicles and things like that is is something that I didn't, see as rewarding as just creating something, trying to figure out how to make something do something, whether you're using pneumatics or an actuator, et cetera, et cetera. So that was what I always enjoyed about that job. And then, like I said, the Wall Street crashed and things came to a stop. My wife and I just bought a house and just started a family, and it's like, holy smokes, she gets laid off. I stayed working, running a smaller skeleton crew, trying to plod along and then do what we could to stay afloat. But I had been shooting competitively for a year or two prior to that.
You still shoot competitive?
No. It's kind of funny. You start a business tailoring to your hobby, and all of a sudden your hobby doesn't. You don't have enough time for your hobbies anymore. Sometimes it is what it is. The mechanic's car runs the worst. The painter's house looks the worst. Stuff like that. So I do when I can. But also other things changed. Like I said, we started a family, so a little munchkin arrives, and you know how that goes. There all of a sudden the spare time that you did have is definitely shorter. So it has to be well spent.
Absorbed in different ways.
Yes. So that was definitely part of it. So I kind of tailored off shooting there, and I had a couple buddies that I used to go with as well, and they kind of moved away or went into other things, and so you have this synergy with your buddies. You're out there competing, but you're also competing with your buddies, and you can give them shit, if they completely crap out or whatever, and so when you lose some of that too, a little bit of the luster comes off of it, and then just the speed of life takes over, and you have to concentrate on other things. But I still shoot quite a bit, but it's more just target practice, plinking, R&D on different rounds and things like that, calibers, and instead of the IDPA and the USPSA and all those, I've been kind of toying with the longer range stuff that I guess lower volume, higher accuracy, but.
Oh, the cost of ammo right now, even to make it yourself, low volume's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where that's your,
and that's part of it. So if there was ever a time
Yeah.
to kind of nerd out on optics and try to really kind of zero in on something, this is it, because you're shooting a heck of a lot less in volume,
well,
and you're you're not as concentrated on speed,
Right.
or even competition. But it's 20, 30 other people. Um, I do kind of miss that. I enjoyed the competition. I enjoyed shooting fast, but there's not a lot of clubs in this area either. There's really only one, so that's kind of part of it too. But
yeah.
without driving for an hour, so. But anyways, all that basically, I started reloading more because I was shooting more, and I kind of took over the closet in my wife's office, and I had a very pretty small space. The first press I picked up was a rock chucker. The second one I picked up was a Hornady lock and load AP progressive, and so I needed to make some parts to where I could do this in a smaller space, and or just more comfortable. So I started to make a couple parts here and there, and I documented how I did it on a private gun board out of Portland, Oregon, in case the guys there in that board had the same needs. And a guy hit me up and he says, "Hey, I would love to have one of those. I'd love to make one of those. I just don't have the equipment, to make something like that. Can you make me one?" I'm like, sure. So I made him one and sent it up to Portland, and then I got a request from his buddy down in Phoenix, and then boom, 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 boom. And the next thing you know, I'm making 5, 8, 10 of these, shipping a week, whatever, which was great because I would make them and I would go to my normal job. And when Jennifer was home, she was laid off, of course, so she would ship them out. And so we were able to kind of supplement our income, which was cut in half.
That's awesome.
Very poor timing, but we were able to supplement that, and that worked out pretty good. And then I'm a kind of a creative individual, so that kind of takes over, and so I started to build more and more gear for what I liked, not paying attention to what anybody else needed, just kind of what I needed for small space. And 15 years later, here we are.
Your amazing products definitely shows your creativity, and we are all on the benefactory side of that.
Well, and that's cool
Absolutely.
that you were able to take something you liked. You talked about, coming up with new ideas and stuff and make it your own and do something that you enjoy doing and do it for yourself rather than doing it for someone else. That's cool.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know that time a lot of people were looking for something new. 'Cause that was a rough time.
Yeah, it was. And it lasted a long time. And I was thankful to keep working throughout the whole time. And the business grew over those couple of years, and I told my boss at the time, who was a great guy. I said, "Hey, I'll put this back together for you." At that time, I'd kind of moved to the leadership management stuff and still dabbling in production stuff. But I said, "Hey, I'll put all this back together, one time." But after that, I think I'm out. And he was supportive of that, and gave me all the time I needed. I gave him, probably 6 months to a year worth of notice, and the rest is history.
Never looked back. It's funny listening. I read that little thing. You just kind of went over. you kind of started in reloading the way I did. I wanted to have ammo when I wanted to have it,
Correct.
but it is something that, man, I've only been doing this a year and a half, and the amount of stuff I've collected over that time, and we kind of talked about this. We talked a little bit earlier, just being organized with it,
Right.
without stuff like you offer, being organized. And, my area isn't, hold on, I got it here somewhere, isn't very big. I mean, that's my bench.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for your quick change things, I don't have enough room to, you know, I started with the impress. One of the first things I bought was your quick change plate.
Yeah.
And then once I got going a little bit, I got the AP press. But it was just nice being able to switch this stuff out. The Swager. It's just nice. You pick. I got the 4-inch riser one, and
Mhm.
it's a perfect height for my table. And it's a genius product. It fits a niche that kind of has to be. Nobody has enough room to have. Well, I can't say nobody. I'm looking at the guy right there that pretty much has it, but not
He
everybody.
doesn't count.
I
He
didn't
doesn't
always have it though.
It's just
Right. And I would hesitate to say that the majority of folks don't have a massive room to spread out and have individual presses for individual calibers and allowed to leave them set up, and trimmers and vices and all the prep tools and all that kind of stuff. That it just doesn't make any sense when it comes to maximizing your workspace. So um, quick change came, I don't know, probably, I don't know, 4 years, something like that, after we started, give or take, because um, that's what I think, that's just what was needed in the marketplace, was the ability to hot swap stuff in just 20 seconds. And just, you're not losing anything rigidity wise over a dedicated mount. So where's the negative, right? Um, the plates, the majority of them are a whopping $24. So to gain that type of versatility and not have any detriments in terms of rigidity, there's just no downside.
yeah.
Yeah, and your prices, no matter what has happened in the economy, you have kept your prices remarkably low, in my opinion, especially because your quality is fantastic. There's zero issues with the quality and the stability of your products.
Yeah, and that's it. It hasn't been easy, especially steel is a very can be a very volatile commodity, and then you have um, import steel and you have U.S. steel, and we've always tried to stick with U.S. steel. Well, with the alphabet crews of the government, looking at referring to the EPA and things like that. I mean,
It's
these
hard.
manufacturers are just cramped down so much on what they can emit, and everything else. The the pricing just continues to go up and up and up. And here you got China belching God only knows how many tons of stuff on a daily, and we're cramped down to absolutely nothing. And I think we need to take care of our environment, but I think there's a happy medium on making sure that the United States is capable to stand on its own 2 feet when it comes to being an industrial, um,
Absolutely.
not superpower, but competitive. So
And there's a
we
standing difference in the quality, and I'm sure as you owning a machine shop, you understand better than all of us between the steel from US and other countries like China. The quality is just not the same.
it's night and day, and you can tell
Yeah.
when you bend it, cut into it, whatever, you can tell. Um, and we've everything that we do when it comes to all the sheet metal stuff, all that stuff is all U.S. stuff, and I don't foresee it ever being any different. Um, hopefully, all the U.S. steel companies can continue to thrive, and we can continue to build gear, and the United States can continue to service some of its own needs. Put it that way.
I see we have a few people in our chat room. Truth, he just posted. He's fairly new to reloading. Needs to check out your products. Yes, you definitely need to check out Dan's products. They are phenomenal.
And it, like I showed, it just makes it that much easier to do it. The less time you have, just even with his, and Randall will show some of the stuff. He's got stuff for organizing wall mounts. The more you can organize this stuff, the more time you get to spend actually doing the reloading. I spent so much time when I was starting out before, I started getting some of the organizing stuff. I'm looking for different dies or looking for this and looking for that. And I just, I'd get an hour to reload and I'm looking for stuff for 45 minutes. So I wind up with 15.
Right.
So whenever you're first starting out, it's the time to start build those good habits and start with good products like this. And it'll save you a lot of headache and problem. Yeah. That's gorgeous, Randall.
Well, it's the same as anything else.
You
need to, fix a little something around the house. And if you don't have all your tools in one space, you're going to take, twice the amount of time to do some goofy little project just to locate the stuff that has run. And, reloading and so many other things are no different. Turning wrenches in the shop, whatever, it's all the same. If you can be organized, it's an enjoyment part of it as well. It's a if you're grumpy kicking rocks trying to find all your stuff, I mean, are you even enjoying what you're doing? Sure, you might be enjoying the craft once you get to it, but you could do more of it if you're organized in the first place.
Yeah, and I agree on the organization for several reasons, but also, especially in reloading, is a safety concern. Organization is great, especially you always need to keep track of the powders that you're using. Don't pile them up on your benches, different things. And
hold on,
some of what you've got helps with that, keeping everything organized. And I was a Ford Master Tech for over 33 years. And the other thing is you don't lose things. Nothing's worse than being disorganized. Everything's piled in your drawers. So you don't know you're missing something until it's too late and it's down the road in another vehicle, and then you're going out buying more stuff.
True.
And just to kind of highlight some of the stuff that, that he has. I mean, it's just anything you can think of, and for any press. I mean, you cover a lot of products, a lot of presses.
I think we're up to 105 top plates that we stock now.
Wow.
And I have a little bit over 1,000 different templates for vices and different tools and things that we don't stock, but we can make for folks.
I mean, like that organizer should pop up here in a second. It's a little laggy.
The wall organizers, that's one of his newer products. I've got a couple of them, and they are fantastic.
And I love the light behind it. You can change the color of the light. It's just, it's cool when you can add personality to it also.
I'm kind of a diva like that. I enjoy backlighting. I enjoy clean, smooth lines, black powder coat, a nice finish. A little bit of a diva. What can I say?
Well, you can tell by looking at my studio, I'm the same way, and your products has just been a godsend for my studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do a great job.
Got a couple of Dan's new panels.
Yeah. And sometimes you see, stuff on the shelves that either doesn't work, is, too thin a metal, or, it wasn't engineered. It wasn't thought out. It was, just done in a cheesy fashion by different outfits. And, it looks good on the web page and you order it up and you get it and you're like, what is this piece of crap? I don't ever want somebody to feel that way, buying a piece of our gear. Everything is just heavy duty, as well thought out as we can. And
I
beat
agree.
the crap out of everything. I'll usually I can go through a revision or two, and I'll take it and just kick the crap out of it and look for any weaknesses. And along the way, sometimes you find a little small thing that you like to improve. Even on the looks side of things, on the aesthetics. So it can have form and it can have function. There's definitely a great meeting point there.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I
look,
agree. The strength is amazing on like your storage docks.
Mm-hmm.
If you can pull that up of my storage dock wall, there is a lot of weight on those storage docks.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Hornady case prep center up there. I mean, that thing's super heavy, and so is their iron press.
Right.
Yeah, then we have the X10 tool heads. Those docks are great for that. That's some of your newer products, and I've hung a lot of weight on your docks, to say the least. Really, really impressed with them.
Yeah, they work very well.
hey, Carl, that is what I started with. He's asking about the Impress quick release plate. That's what I started with. And if you're looking at it now or starting out now, you're actually ahead of me because I found something on a site that I wish I'd have had from day one with all these. Look right there in the middle, the roller lever for the Frankfurt Arsenal Impress. That's a nice lever. When did you say you come out with that?
About 3 weeks ago, give or take.
So that's definitely something I would look into if you're using the Impress.
And right here, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, is the Impress with one of the quick change mounts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get a little closer up on that for you. And that's his mid-height riser, I do believe. And yeah, they work fantastic. Well, who's ready for a giveaway?
Let's do it.
We've got some people in the chat now, and we're going to do the first giveaway. It's going to be an LED kit from Dan, and it's going to be for the press of your choice. So it's going to be a trivia question, guys. It ought to be really easy. So the first one to answer it in chat wins the LED kit. So here it is. In 1957, the AR-15 rifle was created as a civilian semi-automatic rifle. What does the AR stand for? That should be really easy.
And if you say assault rifle, I'm booting you out.
Assault rifle.
Nice try, Dan. Nice try. Hey, my wife is watching.
All right. We got a winner.
Armorlight.
Armorlight. Oh, and it's spelled right. So you did spell it correctly. All right, BH.
Yes, sir. We need to get his information to be able to get that to Dan and get it sent out to him. So you want him to email Dan? You want him to email you directly? What's the easiest way to do that?
I'm not sure. I didn't put any thought into it. They can email me at dan@inlinefabrication.com and just reference obviously this cast and what it was for. We'll authenticate that somehow. I'm not sure how.
Yep. Well, we've got BH on there, so okay. Moving. Well, we lost somebody.
I think so.
Yeah, we lost Jim.
Didn't he say his wife was on?
Yeah, that could have something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So, in your machine shop, do you do other things besides just your inline accessories?
Not really. This industry is our focus. Pretty much, some small things here and there, of course, but
Right.
this is our focus. I didn't really have any interest of trying to be going too many different directions. You see that sometimes in different businesses where they lose focus of doing one thing well. Um,
Well, you've
and
certainly done that.
it usually doesn't work out. So until I'm happy that we're completely on cruise control and we've reached a saturation point where we can do anything, sure. But we continue to grow um, on a yearly basis, and really no complaints. We just because of the sheer amount of things that we can service on a quick change plate. I mean, geez, we've put kitchen utensils on them. Meat grinders, sausage makers,
Oh, yeah.
all kinds of tools for the garage. The Dremel little drill press. The little hobby drill press. I mean, bicycle
Yeah.
wheel truing stands. I mean, an amazing amount of different things that we have done. So we slowly, edge into those areas as folks say, hey, I could really use, a plate for this. And the beauty is you can have one in the reloading room and one in the garage and share
Yeah.
the same plate on multiple units. So, um,
Yeah, because it's nice. You do a ton of the pre-made plates for popular items, but then you also do the universal plates that people can pattern out and drill themselves.
correct.
And that's just awesome. And the exponential growth. Trust me, my bank account knows it because I spend a lot of money with you.
Right.
Well worth every penny, my friend.
Well, we hope so. It's 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 not easy, of course. Being in this industry. With things costing what they cost, and shipping seems to go up on a daily basis, darn near, and
Right.
powder coat and steel and labor and everything, your power, your water, you name it. So um, it's tough to keep pricing down, but we continue to be as efficient as we can. We have an excellent crew, which definitely are at the lead of that effort. Is being efficient and making sure that we roll through building gear at a high level of quality, yet not not lose anything in the transfer, right? So
Right.
we move a lot of gear. We have a heck of a fun time doing it. We have a great aura and a great shop life, if you will. We have the shipping side and we have the production side, and the amount of barbs and crap these guys flick at each other is amazing. We have just a great group of folks. No complaints there.
Yeah, I just got a text from Jim. He's having internet issues at their house. So
Yeah.
not sure if it was probably a area wide issue, evidently.
I was a little concerned with that myself. We have a red flag condition here in Oregon. We have extremely dry conditions, and now they're calling for a thunderstorm, which we had another one of a little issue last week, and we had like 18 different fires start up from lightning strikes. So nowadays, at the drop of a hat, the power company can kill your power if they think that winds or bad things are going to happen. So they don't have to warn you anything. They just cut the power, which of course cuts the internet and everything else. So hopefully we can continue on, but so far so good. Read a question anyway. Could you design a storage system that could be bench mounted instead of a wall? A storage system bench mounted instead of a wall. Concrete. No, it's kind of a. If you send me an email, show me a couple photos of your space and what you want to accomplish, we can definitely look into it.
Right. Well, you kind of live way out from what I gather. So
A little bit, not
yeah.
too far, but we live out just a touch, and but knock on wood, we've been lucky. Not only when it comes to winter storms, but the wildfires and things that you see on the news on a daily. We haven't had any issues here.
Right. Yeah, I was a little worried a few minutes ago when we first started the podcast. The whole bottom fell out here, but North Carolina, that changes quickly. If you don't like the weather, come back in 20 minutes.
Right.
So,
right.
But it's let up now.
So
we have Truth. Truth is asking, where are you located?
We're in Oregon. We're in Eugene, Oregon. It's great. It's great here, with the exception of the political climate. Is a little not to my liking, but everything else is great. We're an hour from the coast, an hour from the east side. No complaint. It's beautiful.
Right. Well, welcome back, Jim.
I made it.
Potty break.
B&H is asking, anyway, you could design a storage system that could be a bench top mounted instead of wall. I don't want to mess with drilling into concrete, but would like to use more vertical space behind the bench.
Well, I mean, yeah, the inline rail, of course, is a good storage system. Or you can put a ledger, a 2x4, 2x6 ledger across, like the back behind your presses or any section of wall. You could use the edge mount style dock like that, of course, which, your 2x4, 2x6 goes right here, and then you lock in and store your stuff. So this is a single. This one, actually, this style just came out a few weeks ago as well. And then we have doubles.
Yeah, I've got one of your doubles.
Right. The beauty part about that is if you put a ledger on your wall, ledger can be as long as you need it to be, but you gain the support of multiple studs as opposed to, a small single dock. At best, you're going to get hit one stud because the thing's only 4.5 inches wide. So these you can move wherever you want on that ledger, and move them down the road if you wish as well. But they're 3/16 super heavy duty. You can put just about anything on this guy.
So we have another question. I wish someone would market a steel T-track system for your QR plates.
T-track. So you really have to consider what you're going to use your bench space for, and whether putting, routing in T-tracks is going to be worth it. With quick change coming along and being able to swap out a ton of different items in one mount, it begins to the question needs to be asked is what else are you going to use your bench for? Are you talking about big platforms, big pieces of equipment, stuff like that? for bench planning purposes, that's really a question that needs to be asked. There's a lot of outfits that made extruded aluminum rails, which can take some abuse, but again, you've got these nice little tracks that impede your bench anyways. All your little springs tend to run off in them, the dust bunnies, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, I've never really wanted to go that route. That's not me. So
no, I know that sound. That's Jim's dogs.
so yeah, that's it's something that can be done, but nowadays it's not as feasible as it was before quick change.
So
Okay.
all your press, the stands, are they all the same dimensions on the bottom? All the bolts are the same
Footprint? No.
footprint.
No,
Okay.
because the shorter the mount, the more the footprint pulls in, because you have to maintain a certain angle for rigidity. So if you had a 4-inch mount that had the footprint of a 9 3/4, you would be so splayed out. You would have.
Same with front to back.
I'm sorry.
Same with front to back.
The micro and the junior are. The full height 9 3/4 is deeper.
I would say if they were the same, they could be drafted with.
Right. And that's part of it too, is where the beam's at, where's the structure on your bench, what are you going to hit if you do screw a couple rails in there, and then you get into, well, I have to have it at this spacing. Okay, well that's fine, but we're going to have to make you an intermediate plate in order to lock both of those together. And of course that costs money.
What do you see coming up? I mean, what are some of are you have any big things coming up? I don't know, just what's your idea for the future?
Oh, there's always things on the horizon, of course, as different presses come out and different tools and prep tools and things like that. There's nothing too crazy on the horizon, just, of course, supporting our current lineup and things like that. But the inline panels were the most recent, larger item that's been rolling out, and people have been enjoying those. And then we made a conversion. If somebody has a Lyman mount, we made an inline conversion for that leg set. Those are on the website now. We did a couple different new rollers. We did a roller lever for the RCS Bench Prime, which will be going live next week, which has always been a popular tool. It's a great tool. I use mine for 50 Action Express. It's a great priming system. It's just simple, it's easy, but a roller is advantageous on it, so we made one of those. Just supporting the new presses that come out and things like that. The Nexus has been a good one. Just continue to soldier on doing what we do.
I don't.
And the rain was just really heavy. Did you by chance mention the new plate for the Tipton gun press, 360 press?
Yeah, we made a run of those, and they're currently at powder, and they'll be programmed to the website next week.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
I will be one of your very first customers to make that purchase.
Yeah, I'll hit you up with the number for that.
Okay.
We just did just programmed the Aero Products Rock Vise last night. As a quick change plate, which is a nice piece of equipment as well. Lots of little vices and accessory parts, plates coming nowadays.
Awesome.
Kind of rounding things out.
So we got Carl again asking, what is the case feeder component feeder mirror assembly? No drill option. What does it do and how does it work?
So the case feed mirror systems, they come with an articulating arm and a quarter 20 stud that you just drill a 1/4 inch hole through the bowl of your feeder wherever you want and lock it down. So the no drill option is a phenolic block that has a slot milled in it and a couple set screws to where you can rotate that thing around the bowl of the case feeder or the bowl feeder and see what is absolutely the best angle. Maybe it'll save you from drilling an extra hole if you don't get it quite right. So that's the beauty of it. You can put it up there, move it around, take a look, move it a little more forward, backward, whatever, take a look, and then lock it down, which just tighten a couple set screws, which push into and just kind of clamp the bowl, and that's the difference.
Nice.
Yeah. Some people are paranoid, of course, of drilling into something. I don't. I give her hell. But there's definitely folks that don't want to drill into a nice new assembly. But
yeah.
So it makes sense to have both options.
Okay.
Yeah.
B&H is asking, what is your most popular item?
It's kind of a tough one, nowadays. Just I think quick change has definitely taken on and caught on in the marketplace, and it's kind of a no-brainer. So it almost has a life of its own. I would say that's that and the ergonomic style roller levers, I think, would be competing for first and second.
Okay. Yeah, he says that I just had my wife climb up on the bench and count the cases. That's awesome.
Now, do you make a poll for the wife? No.
Maybe
different podcast.
Well, how about if we do a second giveaway? Everybody ready for that?
Let's do it.
So this one's going to be another trivia question, and this one is going to be for a 9 3/4 inch dedicated press mount. And it's going to be for the press of your choice. So what did Dan and his wife do for a full-time living before starting Inline Fabrication 15 years ago? And guys, here's a hint for a cheat. It's right on his website. So the first one that can answer that.
And at the beginning of the podcast here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see who was listening and who can multitask. Truth got it.
There we go.
That is correct. Okay, Truth. You won it. Congratulations. And Dan, you want to repeat your email so he can go ahead and send you his information on that?
Yeah, he can send me an email at Dan, D-A-N, at inlinefabrication.com.
Awesome. Well, Truth, congratulations.
Good job.
So how long ago did you get into actual reloading to get you started in all this to come up with the need?
Fat fingered it. Sorry, guys.
We'll forgive you.
Go to another screen here. Okay.
It's all right. So how long ago did you get into reloading that you started feeling the need to create all this cool stuff that's turned into such a wonderful business?
About going on around 16 years now.
Okay. So about a year before you actually started the business then.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah. Give or take. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing the circumstances that turns into things like this. And, you took the situation of the industry for RV and everything falling out and turned it into something far better. I'm sort of similar. I got hurt on the job and multiple surgeries and couldn't work as a tech anymore. And, I started turning into things from my reloading into just doing things out of my basement, and kind of started the same way. I'm nowhere near as big as you, but that day's going to come. But man, you've very blessed, my friend. You really are, and well deserving of it.
It's thank you. I mean, it's a ton of work, and it it'll put the stress to you and your marriage sometimes in the beginnings. Put it that way. So, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
lot.
my wife has questioned my sanity several times over this venture, but
Right,
she's finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with me on it. So
right. Yeah, yeah. Uh, it's definitely a lot of work, but we both really enjoy what we do, and I think that shows in all the finished product and everything that she puts into it, everything I put into it, and the crew. Um, Boy, if we didn't like it, I don't think we would have the quality and the customer service and all the things the feedback that we get on a daily. I don't think we would have that. So
Now it
well,
sounds like you thought I
it's
missed.
just so awesome that you can do it together. You know, it really is.
it is. It
I,
really is.
I think I missed how many employees do you have?
We're running about 12 now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is. Now, does your wife do your packing for you?
The wife, yes, she is the head of the shipping area. So
Well, she is.
basically,
She's my hero.
yes, she's a lot of folks' heroes. What she and the crew accomplish on a daily basis is always just amazing. I do my best not to poke my nose in her business and vice versa when it comes to things. I learned that a long time ago. Like, hey, can you ship this? Can you ship that? And it's like, ugh. Makes for some awkward dinners later on at home. But um, she's damn good at her job, and we on the production side, it's our job to feed her everything that she needs. So it's more of a pull system. She tells us what she needs, and it's our job to get it to her. So
I've ordered. Obviously, I've ordered a lot of products from you, and I got to tell you, man, it's. I've never had anything come damaged that I can ever remember over the years. Everything's just, Dan makes very heavy products, and man, they just come packaged and delivered in wonderful condition.
yeah. Well, think about the disappointment you have sometimes when you order something online. You see it, it's beautiful, it's glossy, it's perfect, and it gets shipped and just kicked down the road all the way to you, and you end up with this piece of junk that you're either not happy with, or you try to touch up, or you need to send back and then wait again. I That's like the worst ever because it just kills you. So we do our best to protect everything, and like you said, it's heavy, um, and it's bulky and weird shaped and stuff like that. So we do our best to truss it against the best that UPS, FedEx, and USPS can throw at it.
Yeah, because you definitely have to outthink FedEx, UPS, and USPS. You got to outthink those guys.
Yeah, they can really put the screws to things sometimes, and then we see boxes that are just hammered. We see a photo, because a customer will send it to us first. And look at this box. I'm not even going to open it because I know, it's going to be junk. And we always say, oh, open it up and lay it all out. Let's see what we got. And our damage is below a half
It's
a
got to
million.
be so minimal. Yeah.
It's extremely minimal.
I know you said you had a kid or you just started a family when the economy was going bad. So your kid's what, about 15 now? Is he part of the family, part of the business?
He is. He
Awesome.
is exactly 15. You're correct. He just got his permit. So now, actually,
Oh, that's a whole
Mm.
other.
yeah, believe it or not, he gets up and he goes with Jen, my wife, in the morning, and he drives to the shop. So
Awesome.
at 6 o'clock in the morning, he's driving down the road. um, so
Well, Dan said
he's
putting a
working
15-year-old on his insurance. Everybody order more products.
right.
Well, at least you got
There's
your
that.
wife to train him. I know
So
that was a stressful part of me, training my daughter and my son.
he's a good driver. I We haven't had any issues. He knows it's a serious thing, and he's I mean, he's been driving around the property here, in vehicles and side by sides and motorcycles, anyways. So he knows his tolerances of where he needs to begin his turns and things like that. And other than learning the rest of the rules of the road, on he's really ahead of the curve. He's doing a great
That's
job.
awesome.
That's a
But,
fun
yeah.
age. You have to get back into the competition shooting because now you got a partner that's.
Yeah.
My son and I started. My son's 32, but we started. I mean, we always did stuff when he was growing up. He raced RC cars.
Yeah.
Big RC cars was fully sponsored. We traveled for that for years until 2008 hit, and I couldn't afford to leave work and travel as much. I mean, we were out of town every other weekend, and then some of the races were 5 days.
Yeah.
A day of practice, 3 days of qualifying, and the mains and everything. And we always found something. Couldn't afford to do that. We got into paintball because I thought that might be a little bit cheaper. No, he wound up on a semi-pro team with that, doing some traveling, and then
Awesome.
Then he wound up going to the Navy. When he came back, he started this solar thing. We've been doing that together forever, and then we got into competition shooting last year in Florida, and it's just a blast. Anything you can do with your son and your kid is just makes it that much more fun to do it.
Absolutely.
But back to what you were saying in the beginning about, because we went through, I started reloading January of last year. I got the X10 in March, and I loaded over 20,000 rounds on it, and we went through them all. We went through about 30,000 rounds in less than a year doing the competition shooting and practice and all that. And we're thinking about doing the long range stuff now too, because the round might be more expensive, but we'd go out and go through 500 to 1,000 rounds in practice, and then you go out long range shooting and you're going through 10 rounds, 20 rounds.
Yeah, and the funny thing is for me, being a reloader, but then shooting competitively, you're always in this back and forth struggle of, do I pick my brass up or do I concentrate on the next stage, right? And it's like, oh, I don't want to leave it there. They're like little soldiers, right? You don't want to leave them in the field. So you're always conflicted there too on preparing for the next stage or pick up your little soldiers. So.
I never picked up anything because I never knew what. And here in Vegas, it wasn't so much. There wasn't, it seemed like they kept it fairly clean at some of the places. But in Florida, there'd be some old brass, and you don't know what those guys are. Some of them were running the major.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with their brass. Who knows how many times it's been shot or So I just took it out, shot it, and walked away from it. And in practice, we'd put down a tarp,
right?
And do all our shooting in that. So we just fold the tarp up, pour it into a bucket, bring it home, and But it's always fun. Always fun.
Absolutely.
B&H has another question. It says, are most of your products developed from customer requests?
I mean, some of course have, but the majority, on the quick change side, yes, because I never know who wants to attach what to a plate. But the majority of the mounts and things like that, all of the docking systems and the levers and things, that's just kind of you try to support that product line all the way through as presses come out. There've been a couple brackets and things like that we've made for a customer. Like, hey, I've got this situation. I need this to do this, and you look at it, and you're like, well, I mean, there could be a couple other people that have that same issue, so I'll make 30 of them instead of 2 of them, and throw them on the site and see. So we just throw it out there, let it soak, and see what happens. But we try to keep our SKUs down to things that folks want and that move. I don't want to build gear. I don't want stuff sitting around, of course, for items or things that people don't want them for. The more stuff we have to keep track of, the more things that the employees have to remember. I mean, we're hundreds and hundreds of different parts and pieces, and these 8 parts make up this one part, and the more you complicate it, the more potential you have to accidentally ship the wrong thing to a customer. So we try to keep the amount of SKUs high and tight.
And I did notice on your site, I remember when I read it, everything that's on your site is in stock.
Yeah.
You're not going to have somebody order something. So, well, we're 2 weeks out on that, or if it's
that's the worst. That's the worst thing ever. So no, I don't know the last time we were out of stock on something. Years, really. We carry a ton of inventory because you never know. You can have a problem getting material. You can have a problem with a piece of equipment that breaks down. You need to get parts for. So we hedge our bets, and we have a fair amount of stock at just about any given time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you get a fair number of requests from manufacturers, popular ones, when they come out with new products. I know, I've thrown a few at you on behalf of Frankfurt Arsenal. So
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
you have always stepped right up to the plate. In fact, when we did the X10 reloading press, I helped run the pilot program.
Hmm.
And man, we got you the pattern, and you had plates out. In fact, I think they came out the day of the release of that press, and you saved the day.
That's the
That's a
beauty of
heavy
small
press.
business.
You don't want to be moving it around.
Yeah, exactly.
Over 100 pounds when it's all said and done, man. I got the quick
Yeah.
change, but it's not very quick. Help me with that. Build up.
Right.
I need an overhead crane
Really.
way to lift that thing up. But
Well,
it's
that's
nice
the beauty
to be able
of
to do it if I need it.
right. That's the beauty of small business. Of course, you can be reactive, and you can just decide to do something. You don't have to go through, committees and budgeting meetings and things like that. You pick a direction and you go. I don't have shareholders and things like that to answer to. If I make a mistake, well, I'm going to pay for it personally. It's my mistake. If we make
Right.
wrong parts, it's my mistake. I'm going to pay for it. So, um, yeah, that's the beauty of small business is being able to be reactive and make things pretty darn quick.
And that's integrity, because it's the same way. I'm small, smaller than you as well. And yeah, you show your integrity by that. If I made a mistake, or anything that happens in my company is a mistake, more than likely I was part of it, because my hands are on everything that goes out our door. So
Yeah, in some way, shape, or form, yeah. So you do what needs to be done, and you take care of the customer. And sometimes, that really hurts, but it is what it is, because you
yeah,
have to throw that shoe on the other foot and service somebody how you would expect it to work for you.
there's a question: have you ever had someone break something you just wonder how in the world they did it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We've, yeah, there's been a
If
couple.
they broke one of your products, I truly want to know how they did it, because that's
Yeah.
going to be one impressive story.
Yeah. And you look at something, you're like, how in the hell did you do that? I mean, did you run it over with your car? But yeah, it happens. There's some big dudes out there throwing levers, and
Yeah, that's
some,
fact.
yeah,
Just looking at your site here, you've got a lot of dealers and stuff too.
yeah,
People might find some of this local or
yeah. There's Midway USA, Graff and Sons, Brownells, those guys, Mid South Reloaders, and then some smaller mom and pop outfits as well, and then same with out of country over in
Canada.
yeah, Canada, of course, and Australia, New Zealand, things like that.
Oh wow!
The thing is, it's heavy stuff to ship. So with the cost of shipping nowadays, you really want to throw it in a container, and with
Yeah,
a bunch of other people's equipment. But um, boy, you land that over there and inventory it, then you've got some overhead. So.
Yeah.
And it's tough because there's so many different reloading presses. There's so many different. Which ones do you stock, right? Of course, the ones that you stock are the ones that the customer doesn't want. He's looking for a different one, and that's just the nature of the beast. So overseas can be a little tougher. We do a lot of direct shipping overseas on a daily basis.
And I'm sure you've thought about it. Have you ever thought about doing a universal plate that has holes for 4 different presses or 4 different,
Yeah, we do, but of course there's machining that needs to be done on the backside of that plate, and so your machine time goes up. So is that plate viable? Is it going to hit the right thing? And I kind of despise universal.
I just thought maybe for like that the overseas stuff. So where
Yeah, no,
you send one plate that'll cover 4 different presses versus
Right.
sending 4
Right.
different plates.
absolutely.
And
Which
you might send 4 different plates and one of them never sells. Yeah, if
correct.
you have universal,
Right.
it's a better chance to
Right.
sell that stuff.
Yeah, and then you have to have a bulk kit for each of those patterns as well. So now you're throwing away hardware and things like that. And so we just encourage folks to get a hold of us, and we'll send you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a tough one because no matter what,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the right pattern on the plate for what that person wants. No matter if you did do one of those
Right.
plates.
You pick four, they're going to have a 5th one they wanted.
Oh, absolutely. So we have blanks that folks can drill, themselves, and that seems to work out really well. Because it doesn't, it's not, armor plate, right? It's not wear plate, so folks can drill it with standard equipment.
Sounds good. One of our guests that just came on board late, Jeff Goodness, he actually owns 3D Reloaded. He does a lot of 3D reloading accessories as well. So welcome, Jeff. Jeff, little hindsight to that, Jeff actually helped me get into 3D printing. So good guy as well.
Well, congratulations, Life. Got his press coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Got a
needing
Mark
copies of
7
that.
Apex 10. So that's a fantastic press. Congrats. And welcome. Well, we need to figure out another giveaway, guys. Gosh, time has flown. The first 2 were trivia questions. How would we like to proceed from here for the next 2?
Entirely up to you. I'll supply the gear. You supply how to get rid of it. So,
All right, guys, I got one. He offers free shipping if the price is over how much?
That's a good one.
Free shipping if you spend a minimum of
I know the answer. Do I win something?
Oh, truth. Truth got it.
Yep, he nailed it.
Truth had the truth. Good job.
All right. Now, what did he win? I guess we should have covered that part.
Free shipping if you spend $250. No.
Well, let's see what he won the first time.
Oh, did Truth win?
Or did he win? Wait a
No,
minute.
I don't think so.
Nope, he did not. So
someone better be writing this shit down.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm looking at it now.
Roll back to the
yeah. So how about a LED lighting kit for the press of your choice?
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm trying to write it down as we go. It's hard for me to multitask. All right. No, see, I thought he did win too. So hold on.
Oh, he did? Ew.
Yeah.
What was the first one he bought? What was the other one he won?
Let's scroll up, but I believe he won the 9 3/4 press.
No, what was the question?
What did Dan and his wife do for a full-time living?
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's right. He won the 9 3/4 dedicated. So yeah, he'll get the LED kit now.
So, that saves you on shipping, Dan.
Yeah.
There we go.
2 prizes to one place.
Yep. Win-win.
Where we at, Jeff? You're about 5 minutes too late.
All right. Let me close that one back out. There we go. Sorry about that, Jim. Keep covering you up. We need to make that a little smaller.
That's right. I'm ugly as shit, anyways.
Should cover me up. I'm uglier. Oh, so what do you have for new products coming up we don't know about that you might want to talk about? Anything good?
We kind of touched on that a bit ago. Just basically supplemental stuff. Nothing too crazy, really. Just the supplemental stuff.
Okay. Well, I got a question. Have you ever come up with a handle design for the X10 press?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. It's,
That one's a tricky one, and I understand.
it is tricky. Actually, I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm on the second revision right now. I just got the blanks turned again. It's gonna be a little funky. The tooling to turn as fast as I need to turn is a little tough. But it's a working, living, breathing prototype. So
Okay.
just ugly as hell right now.
Well, it don't have to be pretty. It has to work.
Yeah. So yeah, it's there. It's just the geometry of that press and everything else is a little tricky.
I wish you'd had that Impress one a year and a half ago.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Got one more giveaway, and then it's kind of time to wrap this thing up. We've been on here about an hour and 10 minutes, and it's been absolutely awesome. So, need to come up with one more giveaway. We know what it's going to be. It's going to be the 9 3/4 press mount.
What's a good question?
Not it. It's on you guys. Somebody says, "What's the website to buy some good stuff?"
I guess he was talking about your website. I posted the link to your site.
Oh, copy.
I hope that's what he's talking about. You're in the wrong chat if you're looking for something else. Got to be something here. Make it interesting. Come on, dead air. That's not good.
Nope, you're right. I'm reading. I'm multitasking.
I'm trying to look through.
I'm sure you can see the smoke.
Trying to look through the stuff here also. That's where I got the shipping. So.
Let's make it simple. What is Inline Fabrication's phone hours? Very easy on their website.
I see the days. I'm not seeing the hours. Oh, no, that was a different one. I can't answer this one. Yeah, questions, call us. I see Monday through Thursday. I'm not seeing. I'm in the wrong area. Oh, wait, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was right there with it.
Was it? Is it 8 to 5 from B&H?
Yep. That was it.
Is it contact? Oh, I was on a different part. All right, good job, B&H.
There we go.
Good job.
Okay, well, man, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Cannot thank Dan enough for the products that he makes and continue to do this for a million years to come for us all.
Right.
And we're trying to build our podcast. We thank you to tune in. We're trying to grow this, so everybody keep an eye out for more podcasts, and maybe we can get Dan back another time as well. And anytime he would like to premiere some new products, he's welcome on the show to do that as well. Get them out there to everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dan.
Appreciate that. You bet. Absolutely. You guys take care and have a good one.
You do the same. Everybody have a very blessed evening.
Thanks,
Likewise.
everybody, for
You guys take care.
Absolutely.
Bye.